Alright, in the last video I showed you guys how to make this big ugly pool here. Uh, in this one, we're going to get rid of the pool by using the sponge. Now, if you've ever played this game before, even if it's not the iCraft version of the software, you'll know that water can be bad. It fills up your stuff. This is one gripe I have about the iCraft software. It doesn't do sponges correctly. They do their own thing. They have the sponge get rid of a lot more water than the normal server does, and then it should fill back in and then not quite cover the sponge. It'll still repel the water, but in almost every case, when the water comes back to the sponge, it simply comes right up to it. The sponge doesn't repel water at all. And actually, I've had a lot of cases where I'll set a sponge and the sponge itself will turn into a water block, and that's completely useless. So, to actually get rid of the water, we could just do that and not get rid of the water. Now, there are a couple of other ways to get rid of it, but I will leave those up to you to figure out based on some of the commands I'm going to show you right now. First of all, there was another way to fill this thing up with water. Let's say, okay, we're going to set, we'll set a rock there, and then we'll go set a rock down here. And then we've got rocks in both of these. So, now you're thinking, I could use the BLB command here, and I could convert this whole thing into water. But I'll also convert this wall into water because I put it up on the stairs. I could have moved it over a little bit and then done it. But since this is a complex shape, it would either take two BLB commands or one other little trick we've got, which is /replace. Now, since there aren't any bricks in here, except for those stone bricks, we have empty space, so we want to replace the air. And we want to replace the air with water. So we're going to do replace air water. And sure enough, it's full of water. Of course, since these aren't air blocks, they're, in fact, rocks, they didn't get replaced, so we gotta, go in there and get rid of them manually. If you had bound those to air and then set them, that would have worked. It's just a little bit tricky because if you bind a brick to air, then you may very, very easily forget where you've set the last one. So that's the other way to fill these things up. The replace command can be used for quite a few other things as well. Let's say I no longer want to have stone around the edges. I just want to have stone on the inside. So I could go, knock that block out, and then come over here and knock that block out. And now I've encompassed all the stone and also all the water and all the stairs at the top of this thing. But I just want to do replace stone, let's say wood. And now we've replaced the edge of our pool with wood. And of course, since I've deleted these, I gotta go put new ones back in. But that's just the nature of the replace command. You can do it in such a way that it replaces itself, but it's just easier to do it this way for me.